Whatever I'm going through, God is putting me through because He thinks I'm capable of it, of handling it. I put a really nice line which I really remember. Pain shapes a woman into a warrior. I have been offered at least 5 or 6 negative women character roles. Short hair. Of course, I got stared down by a lot of the cricketers like, what is she even asking? Why is she even asking that? And they'd answer whatever they wanted to answer. 30s, I was the most insecure I have ever been in my life. I told the channel I'm pregnant and they said, listen, you wear saris and you were sitting on these bar stools, nobody could tell I was pregnant. Because I've gone through sadness, I've gone through negativity, I've gone through depression, I've gone through it all. I've done every kind of therapy.
The world has always been afraid of a woman who isn't afraid at all. Today, my guest on the show has been extremely fearless and has always followed her heart. Joining me in a conversation on Woman Up Season 3 with Pinkvilla is Mandira Bedi. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Pinkvilla.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
I'm good, I'm okay. I'm living one day at a time and I think that's the only way to go.
You know, I want to start off by talking about your earlier days when you started off with Shanti
That's
on
right.
Doordarshan.
Yes. And what a woman, what a character I got to play because she was such a strong character. I think when you have a starting point like that, sometimes the characters that you play rub off on you as well.
How was the atmosphere in those days off screen towards women in the industry?
Things were very different back then. Okay, let me tell you, around the time when Shanti happened and Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge also happened at the same time, a couple of months away from each other. The thing is that women were stereotyped back in the day, back at that time. So on TV, I was playing this very, very strong character. With DDLJ, I played in films back in the day. If you were playing a lead role, you were playing a lead role. But if you were playing somebody's sister or a bhabhi or a second lead, then you were kind of typecast to play those kind of roles only. So I got post Dilwale in the film space. I got offered only those kind of roles. Only to be somebody's sister or somebody's bhabhi or somebody's, best friend. And that's not the kind of...
The shy girl.
Yeah, the shy girl. I didn't want to play those characters because I was playing this very strong character on television. So for a while I didn't do any more movies after Dilwale. We had a shooting floor in a studio called Filmistan and there was one room that just had sacks and sacks, boris filled with mail, filled with actual those postcards and inland letter forms of women who wrote in to say, we love Shanti, you give us confidence, we want to be like you. So many, I wish I'd saved something from that time.
You were the first woman who represented international cricket on television.
Yes.
Was it intimidating for you at that point of time, seeing so many men around because we were in a patriarchal society?
Absolutely. I have to tell you, it was, I made it easier for all the women hosts out there now because I took the brunt. Nobody accepted me to begin with. Certainly not the people sitting on the panel. And I'm not going to say this of course, I'm friends with all the ex-cricketers now who I worked with back then as well. But they did not like that either. They did not like that there was a woman sitting wearing a nice sari, dressed up, talking cricket. And the thing is, nobody fed me any lines, nobody fed me any questions. I was there to represent the layperson who doesn't know every technicality of cricket, who does not know every nuance of cricket. So I was there and I was told, whatever question comes to your mind at that particular point of time, if you're thinking it, ask it. I was given that freedom. Of course, I got stared down by a lot of the cricketers like, what is she even asking? Why is she even asking that? And they'd answer whatever they wanted to answer. Nothing connected to my question. And that can be very, very intimidating. But I kind of was assured by the channel, it was Sony, that backed me, that chose me from about 150, 200 women. They said that, or more, I don't know what the number is, but they said that, we've chosen you with reason. We think, you have what it takes, to stay. So go ahead and just be yourself and start enjoying yourself. And when they assured me of that, something, lifted. It was like, okay, when expectations get taken off you, it's very freeing. So I said, oh, okay, I'm to enjoy myself. I might as well start enjoying myself. And it was like a switch in my head. From that point onwards, it doesn't matter. You don't like me, but I'm here to stay. And that's how the rest of the tournament proceeded for me.
But like you said, there were people like cricket purists, or you can say experts, and even the public figure, they would like comment a lot on your dressing, on your noodle strap, blouses and the dresses.
Yes. I mean, I just wore some nice clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, why should I dress dowdy and dress down and dress like the 6 other people sitting on the panel? There's no need for that. Yeah. I think people made a big deal of the clothes, but if a woman sits on a panel, why can't she wear a sari? Or why can't she wear some nice, bright, colorful clothes? What's wrong with that? So that was not the doubt. The self-doubt was, will I be able to do what I'm put here to do?
Right.
Will I be able to do it to the best of my ability? Will people accept me? That was the part. I wanted to be accepted as, a host.
When you were in the television, did people ever pick you for your haircut? Because it was not very conventional at that time, and even like now, that ladkiyon ko to lambe baal hone chahiye.
Yes. So when I cut my hair, the person who cut my hair said to me, are you sure? And I was like, I had decided. I was in between haircuts. I was in this long hair that was straightened and my curly hair was coming out, and I was so fed up with the long hair. I wanted to cut it, and she said, are you sure? I said, it's hair, it'll grow out. So she still gave me shoulder length hair. And then I went home, and she says, if you want to come back for the short hair, come back tomorrow. And I said, okay. And I came back bright and early before the salon opened the next day saying, cut. And I cut it. And a lot of people said, are you sure? And now, I've had short hair for the last 12 years now. Yeah, it's been a long time. The short hair also defines me. And the kind of roles I also got ever since I cut my hair, that's again stereotyping that happens. I have been offered at least 10 cop roles.
Oh.
Short hair means cop, right?
Yeah.
I have been offered at least 5 or 6 like negative women character roles. Short hair, yes. Either a cop, just think about it, either a cop or a negative character. I mean, there's no in between or what. And then now people cast me playing, a strong, modern woman. Again, short hair. So the short hair means a lot of things. I like the short hair. I'll keep it as long as I can. And if some amazing role comes to me where they say, we want your hair and we want it to be long, and I'll think about it. But I never say never.
You've seen best of both the worlds, an actor and even an anchor. Did you see a difference in the way people treated you as an anchor or an actor depending on your job role?
I mean, here's the thing. Post the cricket, if I charged 100 rupees, say for example, for something as an anchor, nobody ever bargained with me. I've always really chosen what I wanted to do as far as film is concerned. So it's not like I don't have like a huge filmography behind me. When I give a quote for a certain project, I still don't know what to quote. I still don't know what my worth is. Now I reach a stage where I look at my entire body of work and the entire number of years I've been in the business, and I quote what I want to, and I get somewhere close to what I want.
You've been in this business for the last 20-25 years.
More than 25 years. I've stopped counting after 25.
You must have seen a major evolution happening.
Yes.
You were doing amazing work in your 20s, but women had a shelf life at that point of time. And you've mentioned that you felt very anxious getting in your 30s because you felt like ab kaam nahi milega shayad.
30s, I was the most insecure I have ever been in my life. It was like, any minute now it's going to end. Any minute now it's going to end. My husband was ready to have a kid, and I was like, 1 minute, if I have kids, then you know what, that's going to be the end of the story. I was always insecure and anxious. And I will say this, the kind of work, the quantity of work, the quality of work, that I got after becoming a parent and in my 40s has been the best ever.
Because of today's
Best,
style.
better than my 20s, better than in my 30s. The stuff I did, the work I did, the quality of the work, the volume of the work, the kind of work that came my way, best in my 40s. So I reached a stage, and it was in my 40s that I discovered self-love. I've started believing in myself now.
You also mentioned like how you've been pregnant at 38. Was that daunting at that point of time?
The older you get, the harder it is to get pregnant, to have a
yeah.
safe delivery. So all of that was there. And for me, the biological clock part of it was more than, of course, I mean, all my friends had kids, and every now and then there'd be like aunts and uncles and parents asking, "Acha, good news, when are you going to give us the good news?" And when you've been married for a few years, they're like, "Acha, why are we not hearing that you're going the family way?" I decided this is it. At the age of 38, I was pregnant in 2 months. It happened 2 months into sort of actively trying, and at age 39 I delivered, and my gosh, here's my son. I made him, and he's so beautiful, and he's all love. And here's my little girl who's come at the age of 4 from Madhya Pradesh, and she's come speaking a language like "Je kaun hai, Je ka hai." She spoke like that, and now she speaks English. She's like, "Mama, I know like this. I know wear this. Mama, what hairstyle we doing today?" So she speaks this language now, her own little brand of English.
When you guys were going through this process, in the form they give you 3 options
Yes.
that where do you want the child from?
Yes.
And there's another option that says anywhere in India.
Yes, they give you those 3 options. So we had put Maharashtra, we had put Delhi, we had put Himachal. Punjab, we put Himachal. Just because there were 3 options that they asked for, and there was also in finer print anywhere in India, and that anywhere in India makes your your line or your position in that queue move up really fast. So that's the only advice I would give people who are looking to adopt, because we wanted this to happen. I wanted a sibling for Veer. I wanted a little daughter. I wanted to and I love making her hair and putting bows in her hair and dressing her up. Oh my God, it's like I feel like I've got a little doll to play with.
Yeah.
She's so cute, and she's so loving and adorable.
What was Tara's reaction when she came home for the first time and she saw a whole different world?
She was overwhelmed. But we'd done those video calls. So my husband went to go and get her because it was COVID times. And MP also had a lot of COVID cases at the time. So what we did was, it didn't make sense for me to leave Veer and both of us go. So Raj went, and he went to Tikamgarh. It was 5 hours away from any airport in Madhya Pradesh. Veer, Raj's best friend, and we took a private jet, and we flew to Jabalpur. Raj did all the paperwork and met us at Jabalpur airport. It's the first ever big vehicle that Tara has travelled in is a private jet.
Wow.
She's a blessed little child, imagine.
Very.
So so that's how we brought her home. And when she came home, she didn't know what was happening. She was silent. She was just taking it all in. She sat on my lap on the way home in the plane. She sat on my lap on flight, in the car. And when she came home, the staff had got a little aarti prepared for her and put a little tikka and gave her a little garland. We didn't ask them to, but they did it. It was so sweet. There were flowers. She just was overwhelmed.
Going back to your pregnancy, I want to know one thing. Another change that you made is you were working when you were 7 months pregnant.
Yes.
There was India-Pakistan match happening and you were sitting there.
Yes, your research is very good, I have to say. Yes.
Thank you. You were working. How did you find the zest to work even and not take a sabbatical while you were 7 months pregnant?
Hey, I'm driven by work. I love work. Being a parent defines me, but my work also defines me. So I was till whatever time, I told the channel I'm pregnant, and they said, listen, you wear saris and we were sitting on these bar stools. Nobody could tell I was pregnant. Not that I had a problem with that, but imagine hosting a cricket show while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Not a very glamorous look, but whatever. I was looking a little chubby, I guess. But I didn't want to take a break.
Very recently wrote a book on your life. which says happy for no reason. I think it's a beautiful name, very simple but very well thought. How liberated did you feel penning down the most honest and intricate emotions of your life?
Well, I've had a lot of anger in my life. I've had a lot of negativity. I'm a positive person now, but I've worked really very, very hard on myself. I've done a lot of therapy. To people who think therapy is taboo, please do not think that. Because I've gone through sadness, I've gone through negativity, I've gone through depression, I've gone through it all. I've done every kind of therapy, regular clinical therapy. I've done hypnotherapy, I've done spiritual therapy. I've really worked on myself because I've had a lot of anger in me, a lot of negativity in me. My bio on Instagram read happy for no reason.
Yeah.
And so when Penguin approached me and said, we want you to write a book. You can write about whatever you want, but we want to call it happy for no reason. So the book title was dictated beforehand. It could have been about anything. So I just talked about the lessons that life has taught me. Yes, there was a lot of honesty in it. My husband read the book in like 5 hours and said, "Oh my, that's a lot of honesty you've put into it."
There's also a lot of emphasis on acceptance in life. How have you accepted the hardships that you faced in your life?
Anything that happens in your life, when it's something negative, the way to deal with something negative in your life, be it an experience, be it something that happens to you, you need to actually deal with it, live it, feel it, process it, not push it down. Because in my past, I've pushed down a lot of stuff, and then that comes back to bite you. Then you get these weird triggers, things that upset you, and that's why I had probably a lot of anger, because there were triggers that had been created because of stuff I had pushed down.
Because of your hardships or whatever you faced in life, you've turned into a very spiritual person.
Yes.
Does that help you be at peace?
Of course it does. I mean, I'm right now dealing with so much in my personal life, and there are so many loose ends at this point of time, and I'm the kind of person who likes everything tied up, and I've come to even reach a space where, I can't fight it. To deal with certain things will take time, and it'll take me a while to tie up all those loose ends, and I'm coming to accept that. So I'm encountering a lot of things I've not encountered in my life right now. I'm going through a lot right now, and I've realized that I have to just process at each stage of my life, and each thing that I'm going through, I need to give it that time. I need to give myself time to grieve. I need to give myself time to process, and that's how I'm going about my life. And my speed is my speed. My children's speed is their speed. Anybody else's. So I don't care about judgment. I don't care about what people think of me. I am living my life the way I know best.
That's amazing. Very inspiring. You've also spoken a lot about your postpartum pregnancy depression in the book, and not a lot of people talk about it.
Yes.
Can you shed some light on it?
Well, it's real. It's a thing. For the first 40 days of giving birth, I was crying and I couldn't understand it's your hormones. Your hormones have taken a toss. Okay, you've taken a human being out of you. So that's what postpartum depression is. Your hormone, it's a hormonal imbalance. Honestly, the 41st day, 40 days I had it, and I was also told not to exercise in those 40 days. 41st day in the pouring rain, I went to exercise. It was monsoon. And I went to exercise, and I have to say, from the 41st day onwards, I was miraculously feeling much better emotionally. So exercise has a lot to do with it. Exercise has a lot to do with your hormones as well. So that's how it worked out for me. 41st day onwards, I was like, I love you, Veer. Life is great. I'm so happy to be alive, and I'm so happy to be able to be exercising. So for me, that's what worked for me. But people tell the stories of how they see your baby, and oh my God, you fall in love. I saw my baby, and it's like, wow, he looks like a pasty little frog. He is not like, I'm going to be attached to this fellow. I'm going to call him my son. I'm not feeling so good about that. And this is the end of my freedom.
Yeah, they show in movies like a mother gets the baby and they start crying.
It wasn't like that for me. I was crying like this is the end of my freedom.
As you said, on the 41st day, you felt good after, exercising. Do you feel fitness somewhere is therapeutic for you?
Of course it is. Oh my gosh. I used to use exercise as an antidote to negativity or sadness or depression earlier. So that's always there. So now when I'm in a place of what I'm, in a place of calm, of course, post exercise I will still feel good.
Yeah.
But you have to find that level of good even otherwise in
Life.
day-to-day life.
There's something really different and beautiful I saw on your social media is you write down your gratitude. It's not a screenshot, it's not a quote, it's your handwriting
Yes.
in your notebook
Yes.
that you maintain every single
Every third post of mine is that.
Yes. How do these affirmations help you putting it out on social media?
Well, there's a great power in affirmations. I think that, along with my prayers every single morning, there's many affirmations that I put out. I wrote it, I shared that in my book. My mom said, wow, that's a lot. And that's a lot of very personal stuff that you're putting out. Of late, I've started saying this because when I did a parenting workshop, there's a very beautiful insight that someone gave me. That, you can fight the circumstances or fight what's happening around you, but things are exactly the way they're meant to be. I say that as an affirmation every single day because things are exactly the way they're meant to be. I say thank you for the good. I say thank you for the good. I say thank you for the bad. I say thank you for what is. I say thank you for what isn't. I live by thank you. I live by gratitude. I can't say it enough. Once you realize the power of gratitude, you will not live any other way. I read this somewhere. And these are words I live by. Whenever and wherever there is gratitude, when you're actually truly feeling grateful, there's no room for negativity or unhappiness. So if I'm feeling grateful right now that I'm sitting having this lovely conversation with you in this lovely flat which I've made, which is so close to my house, so convenient. If I'm feeling grateful for these things at this point of time, I can't feel negative at the same time.
Yeah.
I can't feel angry at the same time. I can't feel depressed at the same time. So whenever and wherever there is gratitude, there's no room for unhappiness. I put a really nice line which I really remember. Pain shapes a woman into a warrior. I put that out a long time ago and it's such a beautiful line.
But it's true.
It is true. It is true.
Do you ever feel angry at destiny?
When I do feel angry at destiny, I tell myself things are exactly the way they're meant to be. I mean, whatever I'm going through, God is putting me through because He thinks I'm capable of it, of handling it.
And lastly, you attended Mouni's wedding right now. There are a lot of women out there who, find inspiration with you and relate to your life journey and your story. You also put a line that you danced after a very long time.
Yes. My life has gone through a lot. I've gone through a lot in this last year, and she's a very, very close friend of mine. And for me, that was me turning a corner because I have not been meeting too many people in the last little while, and on her wedding is when I just said, you know what, 2022, new year, it's her wedding, and I went out there and I had to be present for her. I was not there for her bridal shower, I was not there for her. A couple of things before, I said, now when I go for this wedding, I'm going to be present for her, and I'm going to be the friend that I am to her, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And so I went out there and I really did actually let go of a lot of sadness that I was going through, and I enjoyed myself at the wedding, and I danced and I had fun.
On DDLJ songs.
Yes, on DDLJ songs. So I had a very nice time those 3 days. It was a turning point for me. I turned a corner when I was there. Very good for it that I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could actually hear you talk all day. But I have to say this was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for inspiring so many women out there, making a mark in the history.
It was lovely talking to you, and you've done such a great job in researching. I do a lot of interviews, and there are people who just come with just some questions. Acha, tell us about your journey. Oh, really? Okay. That just means you've not even done 1 minute of research or not even put together any questions. Anybody can ask anybody, what is your journey? But I see that you've made a lot of effort and you've done a lot of reading, and I really appreciate that because very often I'm sitting where you're sitting and I do what you do, and I interview people as well, and I know what I like to put into my interviews and my the effort I put into my research. So I appreciate it when I see it. It's rare.
Thank you so much once again. And before we let you go, there's a small token of appreciation that we've got for you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Mandira Bedi. If you like this video, please like, share or subscribe to Pinkvilla.